the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, the elections are yet to be announced, but you can see that the buzz is in the air. Some parties have also announced their candidates. The BJP is first off the mark with its list. Congress is still figuring out. Congress is still figuring out a whole lot of things, but other parties have declared certain candidates, and you can see that the election fever is there in the air. We are told that the campaign dates will be announced next week, and then the code of conduct will kick in. Before that, the Prime Minister is doing his whirlwind tour, announcing schemes and laying foundation stones, etc. So you can feel it in the air. The BJP's list is something that we're going to be discussing on the show today, since when they are the ones who have really come out with a very comprehensive list. The names that have made it and the names that haven't, each tells its own story. And to decipher that, I have with me Liz Matthews. She's the deputy editor at the Indian Express. Radhika Ramaseshan, she's a columnist and someone who's watched the BJP very closely. Amitabh Tiwari, he's a psephologist and a columnist. Liz, I'll start with you. We've seen the list that has come out. What do you make of, the current names that have come in? And first, we talk about the names that are announced.
See, in the first list, the union ministers, other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, the union ministers, most of them, which we expected to contest. But still, there are some names we are not very sure about, like Piyush Goyal, Nirmala Sitharaman, Jaishankar. Although there were rumors that both Nirmala Sitharaman and Jaishankar may not contest election, there are still rumors, and you never know with the BJP. They can surprise us any moment. So unless the list comes out, we don't know whether who all are going to be in the fray now. The second Central Election Committee, which was expected to happen today, apparently it is not happening today, in the sense, no, in March 8 it was supposed to be, and it may not happen that day. So we are waiting for the next thing. So BJP is expected to complete almost 90% of their list with the second Central Election Committee meeting. In the first list, they have announced 195, and 2 of them have pulled out, and they have to,
renominate.
Renominate candidates there. So it was, the first list was kind of a mix, it's like mostly some of the sure seats, some of the seats where they have not won, like for example, Kerala. They have not won any seat in Kerala yet in the Lok Sabha, just that in 2016 they won one Nemam in Thiruvananthapuram. And by fielding Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar, they have, against Shashi Tharoor, they have they want to put up a good fight. And I want to say that, here the BJP, which has put this 370 as their target, in states like Kerala, their focus seems to be on increasing the vote share. They may or may not win seats, in of the 20 seats in Kerala, but they definitely, their focus is on increasing the vote share. It was kind of 15%, 15 plus last this thing. Now they want to increase it to like 20 plus. That is what their aim is. In some states, they are not focusing on this number of seats, like Tamil Nadu also, it is, even if they put like 10 as target, it is difficult.
So probably in the south, that seems to be the strategy. Of the vote share. Okay. Radhika, your first take on the names that, have come out, and, this whole, the union ministers that are fighting, what is their future? If they lose, will Modi, you think, accommodate them in the Rajya Sabha? Because Rajya Sabhas are also, now, at least for this year, they've run out. So should they be happy they've been nominated, or should they feel they're going to be backbench if they lose?
Look, for Modi, the ultimate criterion of a person's political standing is fighting and winning an election, fighting on the ground. I mean, not coming through the Rajya Sabha route. So I think he puts them all to test. Some of them already have Rajya Sabha seats, and their term is not about to end or something like that very soon. So I guess, depending on his assessment on whether he needs them in the ministry or he's going to have a new look ministry, because just yesterday somebody from the BJP said, look, just as you had brand new chief ministers in all the 3 states, don't be surprised if that that formula is replicated in the center as well, and you have a completely new look cabinet now, where probably this person was talking off the cuff because nobody knows what's on Modi's mind. But I would imagine people like Nirmala and Jaishankar, would be around regardless of whether they win a Lok Sabha election or they stay put in Rajya Sabha. So that's taken care of. By the way, Priya, Samajwadi Party had announced its list of candidates before the BJP. Just a small amendment.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, BJP, typically it has its share of OBCs, a big share of OBCs, of women, SCs, STs, upper castes, wherever upper castes are required, especially in Uttar Pradesh. So there is a template that they adopt, and that has also come into play in these elections. But the omissions are notable, particularly in Delhi, where I must say Delhi may be just 7 seats. It may be a small assembly, but the BJP is struggling to get a foothold after the passing away of Madan Lal Khurana, the last substantive leader that they had in Delhi. So I think the BJP is looking at the assembly elections. I mean, far-sighted as the leadership is, they're probably looking at the assembly elections and finding out ways and means to defeat the AAP in those elections. So I have very little doubt that the BJP will probably win all the 7 seats in Delhi, given the composition of Delhi, given how people are still besotted with Narendra Modi and so on. But this is the exercise at overhauling seems to be more with an eye on the assembly elections. I mean, Meenakshi Lekhi has been dropped, Parvesh Verma, Sahib Singh Verma.
The entry of Basuri and Ramesh Biduri.
The entry of Basuri has created a huge buzz, of course. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that for 5 years, the BJP does a very meticulous assessment of all the constituencies through their network of Karyakarta, supplemented by the Sangh network, voters. I mean, they get regular feedback through well-evolved mechanisms. Okay. There is no let-up about that. So if a person is dropped, it is also because the feedback is probably negative about her or him, as the case may be. Okay. And if a person is renominated, notably, I mean, there was talk about Sakshi Maharaj. Sakshi Maharaj cannot be dropped because he's from the Lodh Rajput community, and his constituency is very Lodh Rajput dominated.
Okay.
The other interesting, I'll just conclude. The other interesting inclusion is Saket Mishra, the son of Nripendra Mishra, who's been amply rewarded enough and more. His son is already a member of the Legislative Council. He's been nominated from Shravasti, which is a Brahmin-heavy constituency. Kalraj Mishra was once an MP from that constituency. So Nripendra Mishra, who sort of piloted the whole temple project to its logical conclusion, this is probably the cherry on the icing, so to speak, his son getting the ticket.
So some loyalists getting rewarded also. But quickly, one quick question. Okay, Amitabh, I'll ask you first. Your first take on the list?
See, I think the list has very, very mixed signals, but the clear theme is winnability, of course. So if you see out of the list, 51 seats, 51 out of 195. So almost 1/4 of the list is from UP. Now, UP is where the party sees gains. While we have this tendency of thinking that the BJP has maxed out in Uttar Pradesh or the Hindi heartland, they see an opportunity of 16 additional seats. 64 plus 16, and that's a huge number. So mission 80 by 80 is their internal target. And here the number of people who have been dropped or replaced is very less. Perhaps the strategy or thinking in the BJP leadership is that they do replace MPs due to natural anti-incumbency, and if they have if they have been successively MPs for 2 terms, here it seems that they think that the Rammay environment will negate all this natural anti-incumbency, and they have gone ahead with the list. Now, if you see that number of the number of dropouts is almost 29%. So in 2019, it was 37% dropouts. It is lower. However, it is lower primarily because of UP. If you see other states, 13 out of 24 MP, 6 out of 15 Rajasthan, 3 out of 5 Delhi, etc. The other states, the number is fairly high. Party, whoever is a two-term or a more MP is actually in danger of getting replaced. Because apart from the top leadership, which is, you can say, those top 25, 30 names of the party wants to send a message that it gives chance to anybody and everybody from the party. Correct. So if you see last time also, almost half of the people who were replaced were two-term or more MPs.
Okay.
This time also, of the 43 odd replaced, 17 plus are two-term.
Okay.
Delhi is a prime example of that. Everybody who was a two-term has
Okay, okay, I got that. But I just wanted to also go on names or another thing. And which list brings me to this, for instance, people who've come in like Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Jyotiraditya Scindia, coming from the Lok Sabha. How do you make decipher these two names? First tell me that, then I'll ask.
Shivraj Singh Chauhan, see, it was expected that, once, unlike the other two states, like, of course, Chhattisgarh BJP was not in power and Rajasthan also. But, unlike Raman Singh or Vasundhara Raje, the leadership, the current leadership doesn't seem to be having a very serious issue with Shivraj Singh Chauhan. One, also age is with his side too. Third, he was responsible for winning the that kind of a 160 plus seat. That was a general impression, because it was considered that the women voters who have supported the BJP, and the women were like really, if you go to Madhya Pradesh, the only popular leader among the BJP the women was Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So it was expected that he would be, because there was among the cadre also, there was a feeling that he really worked hard, and so he would have been inducted in somewhere at the center. This was expected, so they didn't do it immediately by fielding him in Vidisha. The party has cleared that thing, and now, of course, if he comes back, it is very unlikely that he will just remain as an MP. He might, going by the usual thing, he will be inducted in the government with maybe a good
cabinet post.
Yeah. So that is there. And Scindia, of course, the BJP, like Radhika ji just mentioned, BJP wants all its Rajya Sabha MPs, with the Prime Minister has said not just once, repeatedly he said that he wants all the Rajya Sabha MPs and Rajya Sabha ministers who are coming from Rajya Sabha to contest at least Panchayat election. This is the word he used, at least to contest Panchayat election. And that's the way to be in politics, that according to Mr. Modi. So Scindia, of course, is considered as one future leader of the BJP, and the party has invested a lot in Scindia. So it was expected that he would be, and also that there were clear hints that a lot of Rajya Sabha MPs and most of the Rajya Sabha ministers would be fielded in this. So in the Lok Sabha election. So it wasn't a surprise, what surprised me was candidates like Hema Malini, who is age also, like if going by the BJP criteria, it's not with her. And also there were a lot of complaints from the UP state unit, about her, and she made a lot of goof-ups also in her statement, although she is a very regular face in parliament, in the Lok Sabha. So considering all these things, and she has given 2 terms, and it was expected that she might be replaced by some another political face in a constituency like Mathura. But I mean, to be honest, I don't know about others, but I was a bit surprised that
she got a real nomination.
Hema Malini was there in the first list itself. And other faces, Pragya Thakur was dropped, and Ramesh Biduri. That if like these two at least, Ramesh Biduri, I'm not sure whether it is like Radhika ji mentioned, it is keeping the assembly elections in mind. And it is happening next year, so they want this, like very articulate or like very vocal leaders against Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party. So that could be one reason. Also could be, Modi is like, even before this election fever has started, the leaders were saying the Modi's focus, Prime Minister's focus in the next will be like just development and, keeping all other, these contentious issues at the back, the backdrop. So, I mean, it could be that also he doesn't want, Ramesh Biduri has become very infamous in the Lok Sabha, in the statements he makes, and Pragya Thakur also, obviously. And then Sakshi Maharaj was he initially, but he kind of became a little controlled towards the end. One also, like Radhika ji mentioned, is his caste, and also his it is difficult to replace him in his constituency. Considering winnability was the criteria for the BJP, it wasn't a surprise.
Radhika, what do you make out from this list as to what kind of a team Prime Minister Modi is grooming for his next term?
Oh, Priya, to be sure, there are going to be a lot of new faces. And I am not going into the competence or incompetence of the candidates who've been fielded, but definitely there are going to be a lot of new faces. Some at the top will be repeated. There's no question about that. I mean, there was speculation that Rajnath Singh may not be,
get a seat.
May not, but he's been fielded. So I guess Modi may not disturb the topmost layer or the topmost hierarchy of his next cabinet. But beyond that, I think you will see a lot of new faces, because their credo is that, there's a problem of plenty in the BJP. It's overflowing. Now, not necessarily with talent, let me tell you that. But you have to accommodate everybody. There will be pressure from the RSS as well to an extent. So there will be, now that will be conditioned as usual by caste, by regional representation, by gender. Gender becomes very important. Liz mentioned Madhya Pradesh and Shivraj Singh's centrality in the whole gender agenda. So, those criteria will come into play. Now, you have to also look at the states which are going to elections in the foreseeable future. Maharashtra is one of them. Then you have Delhi. So you have West Bengal, where the BJP has invested enormously. So I guess that cabinet would be weighted in favor of MPs from these states, should they win a sizable number from, say, Bengal. So these would be the criteria for, inducting faces in the next cabinet. But at the end of the day, let me be a little cheeky and say, does it matter? I mean, we all know about 4 or 5 ministers at the top. I mean, middle rank, go beyond that. You cannot really recall names of who was there, who was not there. Whereas when there was Vajpayee's government, somehow each minister, even junior ministers, carved out a niche for themselves, an identity for themselves. Here, they've all been subsumed by a big Modi kind of predominance, as I may say so. But definitely, caste, gender, regional representation, these will come into play. Yeah, more than merit.
So, Amitabh, UP you were talking about. So, in UP, the Congress is still confused about Amethi and Raebareli. Smriti Irani is holding fort in Amethi. Who do you think, do you have any names or suggestions of the kind of candidature that the BJP can field in Raebareli, for instance?
I am not sure about the names. You mentioned about, because Menaka Gandhi and
Varun Gandhi
names are missing from this list. Now, there has been a lot of speculation whether Varun is shifting to Congress, etc. or not. But for the past 5-6 months, I think he has been praising the Prime Minister a lot. So you could see BJP asking Varun if he wants to contest to take one of these Raebareli or Amethi kind, not Amethi, Raebareli kind of a
Raebareli.
or
I'd heard you may contest as the independent from Raebareli, but this is before he started praising the Prime Minister. So you're right.
so he could be asked to contest from there. Or Congress could ask him to contest from Amethi to take Smriti Irani because
Smriti is Congress, sorry.
Yeah, because it's fairly fluid at this moment, and again, two-term MPs, BJP, not in the good books. So there is a question mark on their candidature per se. In this list or the list which is forthcoming, we could, or in the cabinet, as you were mentioning, what could be the new look or the team like Singh Chauhan is one of the names. We are also hearing about names of Bommai or a Shettiar from Karnataka if they get tickets to join the cabinet. Gadkari's name is not there in this list.
That's a very interesting omission.
Yeah, one can argue that Maharashtra list is not there, but I mean his sort of seat or candidature is presumed to be fixed. Sushil Kumar Modi has been a dropout from the Rajya Sabha, whether he gets a ticket to contest from the Lok Sabha elections or not. So a lot of names are there in the pipeline, but it is very difficult for us to guess names because we've seen that they have a surprise element which they can just. But yes, the third cabinet or Modi 3.0, because there has been a lot of emphasis on Viksit Bharat or 2047, a developed India, and we have read about the presentations being made by the Prime Minister on the 100-day plan. We could see young faces, and the almost half of the list is less than 50 years of age.
Liz, what have you heard about JP Nadda? Would if he would be contesting from Hamirpur, then what happens to Anurag Thakur?
No, unlikely, because since he is elected from Gujarat now already, and it is going to be, I mean, I don't think he's going to contest from, but he will apparently be a part of cabinet, of course, and because his term is ending in June. So, and Priya, it is also very important that, just like the BJP list also, it is the alliances they are stitching, like BJD is almost on the verge of like finalizing and getting announced. And, today TDP leader is coming, and it is likely to be only the seat sharing some numbers is. But ultimately, all these alliance partners will have to agree to BJP. So it is not just the BJP's candidates or the thing, they are also put up, that's 400 plus for the NDA. So, it is very important that, to see. And also it is making the election a kind of one-sided, like if our BJD is joining NDA and TDP is joining. I think it is of course TDP Telangana Congress will put up a good fight, and Andhra YSRCP will put up a good fight. Tamil Nadu and Kerala, it's the south is different, but
YSR Jagan's popularity is diminishing, is what people
are. And also you have seen number of MPs who are leaving Jagan's, not now, joining BJP, and some are planning to join Congress. So that is there, and the regional parties are becoming weak. While BJP at one go, and in one way, one regional party, Naveen was one of the tallest regional party leaders, at the current scenario, other than Jagan and Stalin. So, and Naveen is joining hands and agreeing to something. It is so interesting that the rumor was that the BJP will get 15 or 16 and Naveen's party out of 21. So I was thinking in Radhika ji will be remembering in 2009 on March 7th. Today is like 15th anniversary, and Naveen came out and said that he's breaking up the alliance. That time what Naveen's party had offered to BJP was 5 or 6, and now BJP is offering
5 or 6.
Is offering the same thing to Naveen. That is how things have turned the tables have turned now. And I'm sure, BJP also, like, knowing Prime Minister, is amused. He's so amused to give this date, and, so it could be announced any time, because it is just every day. So, the way BJP, just like Radhika ji mentioned, that, the constituencies and candidates assessment, they are, they are on a prowl, basically, and getting everybody in JDS, in in Karnataka. So, and they are talking to
the allies. Okay. So, SID also. Okay, we are out of time, so I'm going to quickly interrupt you and have Radhika's assessment on the alliances. That's a good point she raised. Where do you see the allies coming towards the BJP?
Orissa is the big shocker if it is going to happen, and it looks like, as Liz said, it is most likely to happen. TDP and Pawan Kalyan in Andhra, where the BJP sorely needs allies. I mean, let's not overestimate the BJP's strength as well. BJP has really not gained any traction in Andhra. In Telangana, yes, there is a serious effort. Tamil Nadu, now the two AIDMK factions are not showing any signs of gravitating towards the BJP, but who knows? I mean, closer to the elections, it's really EPS's faction that matters more than OPS's faction. So maybe they will do a deal with EPS. So it is the southern states I would look at, because the BJP has not really lacks the punch to take on the regional parties in the south. So that.
And who do you give a bigger chance to in Bihar, the JDU BJP or the Tejasvi? Because Tejasvi is on the rise also.
JDU BJP. I mean, the kind of conglomeration that they have. Every caste grouping is represented in the big umbrella alliance that they have. So now, Tejasvi may put up a good fight. But the test for Tejasvi will be in the assembly. In Lok Sabha, it's virtually a no-brainer. It is the NDA which has an obvious advantage over the other side.
Okay. So, Amitabh, quick short answer from you. 370, how much do you think the BJP will get? Or is that just an optics figure from the Prime Minister?
No, I see. I mean, the Prime Minister also knows that if he is announced 370 on the floor of the House, even if the BJP or NDA gets 369, then the headlines will be that the BJP has not met Prime Minister's target. So that is why we are seeing that addition of allies. Or Liz G mentioned about the word proud.
The Orissa example.
So they want to expand in East and South. So BJD and TDP will add at least 20-25 seats to the kitty, and that is what the difference is currently between where they are or where they are currently. They are currently at 350 if you consider the Gharwapsi of JDU. So they are back to their original number. However, in Bihar, there seems to be now a switch of a current ally, which is LJP from NDA to INDIA bloc, because there is a problem of plenty and they will not be able to accommodate everybody. But BJP is fairly serious about its mission 400, and whoever wants to join the alliance, they are on the welcoming path.
Okay, on that note, thank you so much for this curtain raiser. For the elections ahead, we'll be having a whole lot more conversations, but for now, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.